You're listening to America's Diesel Podcast.
Damn, Corey. Why are you being a dick? Fucking with my mental right now.
I'm tired, okay? I went to bed late last night, like 9:30.
I went to bed at like 11:30.
I was up playing Nintendo.
How do you like the Switch?
It's the bomb.
It's pretty
I
good.
haven't hooked it up to a TV yet.
Yeah. What are you playing on it?
Just like a little
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
But it's cool because it comes with a little controller that you can plug the little in things in, so it plays like a regular controller, and then you just set the
Just got like Mario, or what do you got?
Zelda, new Zelda.
I'll tell you what, get a Pro Controller.
Yeah,
Way better.
I'm cheap.
Way more
though, Corey.
comfortable.
I'm cheap.
It's like $60, dude.
That's fucking $60.
And you guys are making fun of me for the hardback book.
That's 2 meals at a restaurant.
A game's $60.
Yeah, that's why I've only bought one.
You need to borrow something, Jesse.
I was like $500 out the door when I bought everything, and I was like, "This is fucked."
Look, I usually do like when it comes to like video games and shit, like my mental psych is like if I get $1 per hour I play it,
Yeah,
then I feel like I got my money's worth.
that makes sense. The whole reason I wanted that new Zelda is because it takes like 300 hours to complete it, and I'm like, cool, I can play this game forever.
My wife's been playing it since launch and still hasn't beaten it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't play a whole I've played more this week than I've played in the last month.
Yeah.
And because I go through cycles with that kind of stuff, and it's been a lot of fun.
Do you need to borrow a game, Jesse, or what?
I might borrow a game. We'll see.
You want the new Metroid or
No, I'm really picky.
Minecraft?
I fucking keep that shit away from me. I will play Minecraft for fucking days.
How do I meet Jesse? Hold on.
Don't talk shit about Minecraft.
You said you'll play it for days?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. We're friends.
No, I said I will play that shit because my little brother got into it and my little brother's 14 years younger than me.
I'm going to tell you then.
So he would play it, and he wanted to play video games. So, you play video games with me? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I want to play this weird. And I was like, oh shit, this is cool. Like,
There's a
go?
right at the MAC, the Museum of Arts and Culture.
yeah.
There is,
That's right. There's like Minecraft exhibit.
Yeah, I'm going
Take my son.
Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nerd convention.
Yeah.
it goes till December, so you got plenty of time.
I was thinking about hauling my little brother down to go to that.
Oh yeah, that'd be rad.
I got something way funner.
No, you
For
don't.
you
Shut
guys.
up.
We should like figure
Strip
out.
club. Any strip club.
We should link up on going to the Minecraft thing because I still don't know very much at all.
So that it'll be me and you and a kid, and they'll think we're gay.
It'll be all of us though. It'll be you and me. We'll be the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
That's cool.
Whatever. Yeah. I'll make some jokes.
You want to make it a throuple?
No, then it'll look like we abducted a kid.
It's Mr. Slav. Jesus Christ. So yeah, what's more fun, Tyler?
I was going to say, help me move out of my house.
All right, so back to Minecraft.
That's kind of like Minecraft. You're stacking boxes that are very square.
I don't need your help. But.
Yeah, I'm waiting till my son gets a little bit better at Minecraft, and then I will. And I'm thinking it'll probably be this winter sometime. I'll bust out my old school Nintendo, and I'll
That's the funnest
introduce
game.
him to Tetris.
Well, I just like the regular old Mario
Mhm.
with the original.
The square controller. Yep.
No, not well. The what is it? Nintendo. I don't know.
Super
which one.
Nintendo,
The one
probably?
the Super Nintendo. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm older than you.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Mine is the
You have the original.
the put in and click down
Yeah, and then with the square.
little guy. Like
Yeah.
that, yeah. I have my original one that I saved up my allowance for.
Really.
I have a Game Genie for it.
Really.
Nice.
My
With
brother
the
kept like our Super Nintendo. He kept the Nintendo and the box and all the games that we had because we had a bunch of different. I think we had like that.
I don't have
even
the
like
box or
that
anything, but
Mike Tyson or the fight
Yeah.
Punch
boxing.
Out?
Yeah.
Punch Out, yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember. I don't know. It's been so long. But
we
I was too busy outside like skateboarding and shit. So.
My older brother and I wanted one when I was little, and my older brother's 10 years older than I am. And he has his original Game Boy that he saved up like mowing lawns and stuff to buy. But my dad was like at a yard sale on his way back home one day, and he'd work out of town on construction, and he found an original Nintendo and paid like $5 for it or something. Bunch of games and everything. We played that for like 6 months, and then we were like, yeah, we need something better than this. And that Christmas was the Christmas the N64 came out.
Oh yeah.
And that was, oh boy, that was a big deal.
Well, I don't know if this is going into the episode, but this is America's Diesel Podcast.
Yeah, this is our intro. Hey, a lot of us play video games too.
This is America's video game podcast.
Yeah. This is America's like dudes podcast.
Yeah.
Do you like engines? Cool, you're qualified to listen to the podcast. There are a lot of other things go on with people that like engines.
Yeah.
I have
Everybody's played an arcade game or Nintendo.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's at this
100%.
point.
I still have Sega Genesis. And
Dude, Sega Saturn, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated.
It was Saturn.
and that's what I was going to say. Had that too.
That platform got killed off by Dreamcast, and it pisses me off.
Yeah.
The graphics on Sega Saturn were so far ahead of the game.
Well, I'm skipping way ahead. The game that I played probably the most, Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
That game's rad.
Like even back, like what was it, like PlayStation
1.
No, 2. I think I had it on.
I
I might
two
have
had
had
like,
1 and 2.
2 had Gran Turismo 3 on it, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
even like me remembering, I thought like the graphics were actually like pretty damn good.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
For like a car game, like it was actually decent.
Yeah. And now you play the new Forza, and it's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
I want to
have-
get one of the setups with like the actual steering wheel,
Oh,
brake pedals,
yeah.
everything.
Some of those
The
guys
Sims.
get freaking crazy with
I don't
that
plan on
shit.
going that crazy. Like,
Yeah. I'd rather like it's like almost the amount of money they spend on like all that like gaming equipment. You could have bought like a cool car.
You could have bought a
You
drift car.
actually drove something.
I was gonna say a cheap one of those things is the same price as a spec Miata. Like,
Okay, but nobody wants a
Well,
fucking
it-
Miata.
It depends on how far.
you could buy an entire spec Miata race car with like extra tires and wheels and extra parts,
Yeah.
and go race it every weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
And it would be cheaper than a racing sim.
Yeah.
Well, it depends because Logitech has like an entry level one for like $250.
Yeah, but that's
No one's
lame.
gonna actually be happy with
I
that.
want a $10,000 one.
Yeah.
I want one that's half a car in my living room.
Everyone does, but let's be honest, budgets.
Yeah. Go buy a whole car and race the shit
Yeah.
out of it.
Have you
IRL.
seen? Well, have you seen the guys that do like the semi truck?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're just sitting there like just dropping off fake loads. like, what are you doing with your life?
You gotta go full sim and
Like-
like pee into a bottle.
Like,
or-
what the, like, I don't understand it. Like, how could you get joy out of like what are you doing?
It's like you
Are you
realize
just
you
getting
could
ready?
be out making money doing
You
this.
could do it. You could do it. There's like a shortage of drivers. Go do it.
Okay, take a
For
step
real.
back here. Think about this. This is how fucked our society is. Okay, we have an industry that's literally short on humans.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do it. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but you don't necessarily have to be super educated to like. It's an entry level, and you can
Yeah.
make good money doing it. It's hard work, but
You could
can
do like
it.
one route,
And you can
like that's your
learn.
route.
You can learn on the job. Like,
Yeah.
Can you drive? Do you have eyeballs?
Yeah.
Like you're already like 75% of the way there.
Yeah.
You don't even have to speak English all the way.
The semi truck one is the one that just is like bugs me the most
I
because
know.
it's like because they have like these elaborate setups, like the whole dash of a fucking
They have
Peterbilt.
shifters in there and everything.
It's like, well,
And
what are you doing?
And so, but then the industry is like, we can't hire people. There's people paying money
Yeah,
to, and this is going to get even better too. There's people that pay money to put these simulators in their house and actually get really close to doing the same job that takes the same amount of time for fun. They're not even getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
But here's the best part. Some of them stream and get paid to do the fake job, and other people watch them do it.
Yeah, the people watching it is the craziest.
Now imagine
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
cut out the whole other. And this is why truck drivers need to have cameras in their cabs at all time. If you want to watch an IRL thing, like you can literally watch a truck do its entire fucking route.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but
You don't have to watch the guy play the video
yeah,
game.
I can
you watch the guy do the real thing.
I can understand. So, like, there's a whole movie on this, which I actually want to see the movie. I think it's called Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
So I actually want to watch that movie.
Me too.
I could totally understand the guy that like wants to do a simulator for an Indy car or like a Formula One car. Like I totally get that because that kind of shit is kind of like you got to be 1 in a million to be able to like be one of those racers.
Yeah.
So like that I understand, but a fucking semi truck,
Yeah.
like come on.
I'm just gonna say Gran Turismo is a much better idea than the Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Let's not bring that up again, okay?
Anyways,
Corey's dying.
I'm gonna get fucking canceled with that one. And I feel like I got baited into that whole conversation. I don't like
totally
it.
got baited into it.
I don't know
We
what
were
you're
dicks.
talking about.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the conversation.
We're just talking, man.
I remember all of it, and I would like to rehash it.
No, do you know what's fun? No, I will rehash one section of it because this is ridiculous because I talked about it after. And y'all made fun of me for watching The Little Mermaid after the podcast. Me and Jesse are standing right there, and he goes, "Hey, dude, did you see the Barbie movie?" I'm like, Jesse?
No, it did not
He's
start
like,
like
dude,
that.
it's
It
actually
did not
really, really
start
funny.
like that. Somebody said something about it, and I was like, because I go watch pretty much every new movie that comes out, and somebody said just something about it, and I was like, it actually wasn't bad.
No, you said it was funny.
It is funny.
You said it was.
I think the fact that it made like $800 million proves the fact that it's a decent movie.
I don't care. I don't care. And Theo Vaughn had the best.
If you're telling me that you wouldn't go for 2 hours
No, I
to
would not.
watch Margot Robbie just be on screen and
No, I
hot
wouldn't. I
as
wouldn't. I
hell.
wouldn't. There's this thing called Google, and you can just look up a picture.
Yeah, but 2 hours of it, man.
Oh, I gotta. How do I find
There's
it?
like
How do I
20
search
other
a
hot chicks on
specific
there, too.
reel?
You don't want to go look at Ryan Gosling for 2 hours? Come on, man.
Dude, it's the Barbie movie, dude.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Will Ferrell's in it.
Oh, right here, right here.
I said, no, I haven't seen it. Somebody asked me, they said, hey, buddy, you seen Barbie? And I said, no, I haven't seen it because, well, I'm an adult male and it's Barbie. Look, when I was a child, if a man saw a Barbie movie, then your mom was going to leave that man. And that's how you got a stepdad. Somebody asked me, they said, hey, bud.
Stepdad.
So and what's funny about that is I started seeing that after you had told me about the Barbie movie.
I was figuring, I was like, this is gonna look weird, me being single dude walking in there and watching this. I'm like,
It does look weird.
I'm gonna be odd man out here. There's gonna be a bunch of, it's gonna be a bunch of chicks and chicks with their husbands and boyfriends. There was a lot of dudes in there, and I was like, now I feel more weird.
Do I feel
There was like groups of dude friends in there to go watch it, and I went and watched the Oppenheimer on opening night because they both opened on like
You had to balance out that.
Well, I went and watched it first.
Barbenheimer.
And I went there opening night, and there's, every chick that walks into the theater is wearing pink and everything. Everybody's dressing up for it. And I'm like, okay, but there was, it was packed going in there. And so I saw like a couple groups of girls. I'm like, yeah, they're going to see Barbie. And I go into Oppenheimer, and they're all walking into that movie. I'm like, you guys miss a turn back there or something? Like, you're going to go watch a movie about, like, a really serious movie about dudes in World War II making bombs. And I'm like, maybe they're double featuring it. I don't know. Maybe they just walked into the wrong door and they're like, fuck, let's just go with it.
This isn't Monsters, Inc.
The Barbie movie.
I think my current favorite thing from Theo Vaughn, and don't worry, we actually have truck topics to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite thing from Theo Vaughn, and he's like, well, he's taking a question. He's like, me and my wife, well, we had a threesome, and turns out she kind of likes girls. Yeah. And then we had another threesome with a dude. Turns out I kind of like dudes. And Theo Vaughn's like, well, y'all gay, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
my favorite, like, all of his stuff's good, but just the classic one where he's like, yeah, my cousin got bit by a gay dude, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
My cousin got bit by a gay dude once, and he's like, But you know what's the best? I heard there was someone else talking about Theo Vaughn, and he's like, is Theo Von real? They're like, I can't tell if he's like constantly like doing a
Trashed.
skit or if that's like actually him. Like you can never tell if that he's like building up to something or if he's like actually being. He's in there. I think it was like Brendan Schaub. He was like, "No, dude, that's actually him. Like that is him."
The greatest thing is the first thing I remember Theo Von being in was that
Real World or
no, it was
Road Rules?
Howie Mandel like candid camera show that was on TBS where it's where they have like there'll be a couple sitting at a table in a restaurant and they'll go grab the husband and say like, oh, can you come back? There's a phone call for you. And they bring him back into a room and like, hey, we're going to prank your wife with you. And every 500, every time we give you something to say, we give you $500 or something until you can't. And he was the host of it. And he was like short hair, clean shaven, just looked like this. And he was like, and I was like, oh, it's kind of this weird square dude they got to do. And then it turns out he's like one of the greatest comics in the world. But it's like, he didn't look like he does now. Like he looked like this weird little accountant.
He didn't have his long men's haircut.
Yeah,
and
well,
he
look it up.
And he didn't talk. He just sounded like kind of Southern like the Southern dandy gentleman kind of sound, and was like super happy and everything, but just like normal. And then all of a sudden his actual comedy career, like he's just like the greatest comic on the planet.
Last
was his
one.
mullet.
Last one, he was like, they were talking about like, I think they had this like black guy on. They were talking about like either like saying the N-word or something or being like racist. He's like, Theo's like, yeah, I'm not. No, he's like, no, yeah, I'm not racist, man. He's like, I might have a couple flare-ups in traffic, bro.
Yeah. The dude looks at me, he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Or he's like, what would be like the first thing you would do if you're black? Like, would you say it? And he's like, man, he's like, I might write it down. Sorry. Like Theo, goddamn, man, fucking just national treasure, national treasure.
Yeah, my last he was on Rogan's podcast and they were talking about Thanksgiving and he said Rogan was talking about owls before that, I think, and he's like, yeah, we had a couple of them at Thanksgiving. And Rogan goes, wait, what do you mean? He goes, we had some owls at Thanksgiving. He's like, they were around. He goes, no, we're eating them, man. He's like, dude, that's illegal. He's like, well, I didn't have much.
Didn't have the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh god, that guy.
His thing on USPS was out of pocket,
Yeah.
and I fucking love that. Yeah. You ever think that? And he's like dying. You can't even get it out. Too. He's like, you ever think that like the U.S. mail, like USPS, is basically just like you just hand your. It's like it's not even like tracked or anything. You just hand it to a black dude and he just kind of gets there.
Just kind of hoping it gets to where it's going.
And he's like trying to get it out, and he can't even because he's laughing so hard. And whoever he's on there with is like, "What the fuck, man? Like, where did that come from?"
Oh yeah, he is so funny. He is so funny.
Anyways, trucks.
Yeah.
If we say trucks enough, then the episode trucks, diesel trucks, trucks. Jesse Adams, he's thinking about some with a truck. I don't know. Proceed.
Oh, real quick, I'm gonna need,
Yeah,
This is what happens. This is what happens when
Yeah.
I get my favorite in.
Yeah. You go ahead. Utah, make it too.
So yeah, anyways, I was thinking about getting a truck again because I don't have enough of them.
Well, and you've burned through enough. Okay, hold on. Can I ask you some questions first?
Sure.
New or old?
Old, well, varying degrees of old.
Okay, because I know that you've kind of gone through a couple of older trucks, and every time you get like the last one you got. Yeah, well, I think you're starting to, in my humble opinion, okay, because we're all getting a little bit older, okay, you're starting to realize, like, you know what, I'm kind of over buying the piles of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I would rather save up a little bit longer or start with something that has a bit more of a clean slate.
Yeah.
And you have the patience now. Same here. Like,
Actually, you're full of shit. I don't have any patience.
Did you sell your sandrail yet?
I tried. It's listed.
Damn it.
It's
You already selling that?
yeah. Well, I want to go buy other stuff. I'm stupid.
Like a truck.
Yeah.
Didn't you just buy that like a week ago?
It's been a month now, probably.
Okay.
Hold
It
on.
feels like a week ago.
Before Jesse keeps saying he had some money and he also paid off his bike.
Yeah.
So like it.
Well, let's be fair. I had enough money to pay off my bike, and I was like, "You shouldn't do that. You should go buy things." So I did. And then I was like, oh, dummy, you did it. You screwed up again.
I had to sell
you
those
better sell
things.
these things and go pay your bike off. So I did. I bought a 78 F250. It looked like a really clean truck. It was one of those things where it was like too cheap. I had to jump on it because it was like an hour-old listing. And it wasn't it wasn't a bad truck. It just, I like really original stuff.
Yeah.
And everything on it had been touched. Motor and trans had been out at certain points. Had a used long block installed by a shop after they did some work to it, apparently.
And you dodged a fucking bullet on that one.
I don't know if I did or I didn't because it ran great. I think the dude on the drive home just tried to do like 70 miles an hour for 2 hours on his drive home
that too.
and blew the 460 up. So because it was low geared, 410 geared, 460. And when I was driving it at 60 miles an hour, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Like this stuff doesn't like this, it's just old. It's an old truck, man. I mean, it was an old tractor. And even then, this was like the nicest. It was a really nice truck. I mean, factory seat was in good shape. It had factory cruise control that worked, AC truck, everything. But it's like every panel had an issue. It was a presentable truck. But it's like at the end of the day, a truck that's rusty or has a big dent in each panel needs the same amount of work as this truck. Like they both need to be stripped all the way down. That it's still a one of everything truck. And I was like, it's just not my style. I sold it. The guy drives it 2 hours home and it loses a rod bearing. And I'm like, damn, like that truck would have lived forever if it just would have left and went 15 minutes away and lived on a farm. Like that's all I was going to do with it. It was just going to go up north and be a farm truck because I had a 1980 GMC 2-wheel drive that I loved. I paid like $800 for. That's a really original truck. And it just randomly lost the forward clutch pack in the Turbo 400. And just like, well, that's dead now. And the truck needs enough stuff that I'm like,
you just don't want to do it.
It's not worth a transmission in a 2-wheel drive. I mean, the truck's so original, it still has its 1980 like 16.5 wheels, like steel 16.5s with old tires. It needs a ball joint, it needs a tie rod. Like everything's a little loose in it. It's a square body, so it's rusty. Like they just are.
But for a farm or for just knocking around,
it functioned. It's comfortable. It's a 2-wheel drive Chevy pickup. They drive great. They're the square body 2-wheel drives are one of the best driving trucks on the planet. And I'm a hardcore Ford guy. Those trucks.
Yeah,
are
and you
comfortable.
fucking hate Chevys. So that's a big thing for
once you
right now.
slam the door 5 or 6 times to get it closed all the way.
That's great.
It's great. It takes 9 hours for the window to roll up, the power windows. But so I dodged that bullet. I've had a lot of 90s Fords. Me and Ben, we share a brotherly bond over OBS Ford trucks.
Yes, we do.
Last one was that crew cab that was a 351 Windsor automatic, and that was a total pig. But I want another one because every now and then I have to remind myself how terrible they are. And it's about time. It's about a year later. I'm like, I kind of like those things again. I need to go get one and sell it.
If you want, I could hire someone to just punch you in the dick. If you want,
that'd be great. It'd be a lot cheaper.
A lot less stress.
So I have an old farm truck that's a 74 F350 that once again thought it was pretty original until started getting into it. And I'm like, this isn't what I need sitting around the property. But it's just it's got a flatbed, it's got a little crane boom on the side of it, so I can lift all my stuff. It just works. It never leaves the yard unless it's going to the dump. But I would like to get something better. So there is a 77 W350 dually 4-wheel drive Dodge. 440 4-speed with a 480 Holmes twin boom wrecker body on it. Ooh. And I'm like, that would be awesome just because all I need is something. And the twin booms, you can fold the booms out to the side. And I was like, I can change motors and lift stuff. And it has a hydraulic wheel lift that somebody added on the back of it. And I'm like, I can drag cars around the yard easy and all that sort of stuff. But 70s Dodge truck. All the wiring sucks. Yeah. Guaranteed. Like, I haven't even went and looked at the truck. I know that's what it's going to be. None of the gauges are going to work. And I'm like, well, still, it would fix the yard farm truck problem. But I really want another just like nickel and dime project. And I do need something that can tow stuff.
Okay.
So a month or so ago, a truck popped up online. And I had all this money sitting around, and I said, I'm going to go buy that. And I didn't. 96 F350, regular cab, long bed, 4-wheel drive, 465 speed with like 180,000 miles on it, I think.
Okay.
Bunch of recent work, brakes, shocks, like the whole bit underneath. Kind of put a bunch of money into it. Big old camper mirrors on it. Set up to tow a trailer. All it does is tow their camper around. It's $6,500 or best offer. And I saw that, and it's a pretty clean body. I mean, they all have dings and dents. And it's a white with a red interior, which is my absolute most hated color combo on the planet. And I'm like, that's a cool truck. Like, I would buy that, and I would just drive it. And I'm like, it's straight axle F350. And at this point,
It's gonna ride like shit.
I'd almost rather have a TTB truck, but I'm like, it's just a 90s version of a highboy Ford. It's just, they ride like crap, which I kind of dig, and they're pretty indestructible. And I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. It's going to sell in like 2 days. It's still on there. I checked today. I saw that, and I'm like,
sounds like $3,500.
I'm like,
best
damn
offer.
it, well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, maybe $5,000 takes this truck home, but it's 2 hours away. So I'm like, I'm going to have to go ride my motorcycle down and hope they have a ramp or something, or there's a loading dock somewhere I can get my pig heavy motorcycle in the back of it and then drive it home. So we shall see. Payday hits, I might be going and getting 90s Ford for the winter.
It's not going to do the Dodge.
No, I've talked myself out of that one pretty hard. I was
kind of excited for you for that one, because I'm like thinking like 37s, fucking off-road looking wrecker, fucking Dodge.
I did want to do that. And the good thing about it is it popped up for sale the day after I paid my motorcycle off, and I'm like, thank God. So I was dumb enough to go buy that.
So I was telling him, so for some reason, I do have a slight infatuation with like tow truck trucks, right? Like,
like a
I
utilitarian, like get everything done on the site job truck.
Like just to be able to like pick up another vehicle and like just move it. Like I feel like I would like do that all the time, like just randomly. Like there is this, I'm pretty sure it's got to be a 6.0, but it's a white standard cab 6.0 with a tow truck back, but it's like super short. Like it looks like it was a short bed truck. It maybe I'm assuming it's a 6-liter. Like I've always just drove past it and kind of never really looked like super close at it. I've just seen it and be like, oh, that thing's kind of cool, Like I could just imagine what it could look like with like some cool suspension under it. But it just sits there, dude. It just sits there at this shitty little house off of Freya, like by the Safeway warehouse. And I'm like, man, that would be such a fucking cool truck. It's probably a V10. It's probably a V10,
and it's probably, so like with a lot of modern wrecker bodies, the body's cut up, like they chop the whole back of the frame off.
Yeah.
So they look super short.
Dude, it's tiny. Like it's like so cool. Like everything's paint matched. Like it looked like it was a nice older, it's like maybe like an 05 ish body, but a nice older wrecker that someone had, or a tow truck that someone had, that they just, like, I don't know, fucked up their back or something and stopped working. I don't know. But it just sits there. And I'm like, every time I drive by that, I'm like, man, some like fucking 37s under that bitch and some cool suspension, maybe some, some airbags in the back. Like, that thing would be so dope. So dope. Because it's so short. Which unfortunately is probably going to be a gas engine truck, but it'd be super cool if it was, like, even if it was a 6-liter, like, you could probably pick it up for super fucking cheap.
All this talk has made me want a flatbed. I'm just saying.
The thing I want the most, there was a truck I used to borrow from this guy back in the day that was an old Les Schwab tire truck. And the truck was garbage. Like,
I'm sure they beat the fuck out of it.
Oh, yeah. And it's that, like, was it GMT 600 era? It was like a 94 Chev. 350. It had like a 12-foot bed on it and that small block and a 4-speed manual. And I was like, dude, it doesn't even have overdrive. Like, what this thing? It didn't matter. It didn't have overdrive. You could barely get it to 4th gear speed. Like, it sucked.
It's so heavy. They don't care. Yeah.
And it had a big underhood compressor that might as well like kill that motor. Like, that's probably why the motor was so worn out. It's just like
run that
huge twin-cylinder air compressor. But it had a knuckle boom on it. And I tell you what, that's the coolest piece of machinery on the planet. And that's the thing that killed me for this tow truck. It was like $5,000 gets me that tow truck. $5,000 would also just get me a knuckle boom to put on one of my trucks. Like I could put that on that flatbed Ford I have. They are the most like literally anything you need to do. You need to pick up that air. Like we moved my buddy's air compressor into a shop with it. And it's like, you can lift it and push it over and put it in the corner and, you know, any engine, anything you need. It's just like a big kid claw game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the only thing that was cool about that truck was the bed was so big. You could, and they're so wide on those trucks. I don't know if you ever noticed on those Les Schwab trucks. They're like
8 foot wide,
yeah.
like 12 feet long. Yeah,
Yeah.
big fucking beds.
I remember when I was 17, the guy helped me go to a junkyard to get the bed for my first highboy that I built. And we like picked it up and set it in the bed, like a full 8 foot long bed, truck bed fit inside this thing with plenty of room around it. And I was like, that's cool. I mean, I hauled a short box Ford pickup, like roller chassis in the back of the thing. Like it was huge. And I just had it had a lift gate on the back and I just let the lift gate go out a little bit to catch the front tires. It was rad. The truck was absolutely trash. And I always told them, I'm like, dude, and at the time I had a gorgeous low mile 72 F350 long wheelbase flatbed. And I was like, dude, can we just pull I'll buy the truck from you. I'll buy the boom from you. We can put it the truck. He's always talked about, that thing's going to need a motor here pretty soon. And, actually kind of surprised the tweaker that has it now hasn't blown it up. Maybe he has. I haven't seen it around in a while, but, I was like, let's just pull that boom off and put it on this truck and redeck the flatbed. It'll be way more usable with this, without having the sides and everything on it. And never did. And it was also one of those things everything on it was so worn out. I was like, is this boom worth swapping onto another truck?
Yeah. As soon as you unsettle it, just
So it's a part of me, I want to just find a good knuckle boom, but it's a lot of the ones you find for sale are for medium duty trucks. So they're capable of lifting 10,000 pounds. I'm like, I don't need that.
Yeah. I don't need, that's too much.
That's too much. I'm going to bend the frame on my truck.
All this talk has me really want to do it now. Put a flatbed on the green truck.
Yeah.
It's a good candidate. It's a good candidate.
It is a great candidate for a flatbed.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love that. Put a nice 8 or 9 foot flatbed on it, 6.5, 7 feet wide, just wide enough to where it pokes out behind or beside the cab.
Yeah.
But
not quite a dually
not a
bed.
dually bed, yeah.
I would
think you do that, especially
in 40s.
In 40s, and potentially a manual swap, and that thing would be.
And Andrew said yesterday he'd give me an NV5600 and manual swap my truck. But I'm like, dude, man, that's so much fucking work.
Don't be beach.
Honestly, let's really think about that for a second, because I bet you I could probably sell the 68 RFE and cover most of the cost to convert that thing over to a manual.
Mm-hmm.
While your truck's down for 6 months.
Right. It's not feasible, but if you think about it, that 68 that I have in there is worth some money.
Yeah.
Do it.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. As much as I want to do it, I'm not going to do it.
Do it.
Dude, are you gay? Come on.
No, but if I ended up
Come on, man, I'll drive a Cummins, man.
Yeah, you got to stick shifting that thing, man.
6 in a row, ready to tow.
Yeah.
Got myself a manual straight shift.
Straight shift.
Actually, speaking of, somebody we all know, Mr. Cameron, the camera guy.
Yeah, he's been talking to me about his 2012.
Yeah, what a peach.
It's
love
actually not
that
a bad
thing.
truck.
Is rad. It's super low mile.
It's a
6, 7,
Canada
6
truck.
speed.
He was really worried about the transfer over kilometers to miles and whatnot. And he sent me pictures out of the hood. And I because a lot of times on those trucks, there's a little strap. It's riveted on underneath the EGR, servo in front of the EGR cooler, that goes to, I think, the EGR cooler. And if that system's been off before, most people will just fucking cut that strap, because it's a pain in the dick if you're just trying to replace one part, because it's riveted on.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, just look for that and see if it's still intact. He sent me a picture of it. It still looks intact. I didn't say it to him. And after I really started looking at the pictures, there's a couple pieces that look like that might have been replaced, but Overall, it's a good truck. It's a good, and he pulled up like the engine hours on it, and I ran out to my truck. I was like, dude, because my truck's real close to 50,000 miles, and that truck had like 47,000 miles on it. And I was like, dude, I will tell you, like, you know how I drive my truck. I'll give you my engine hours, and you can compare it to what yours is, just to see if there's anything funky going on or whatever. And it's all in line. So it's a clean truck.
And it's like a champagne gold kind of.
Yeah.
It's real good.
Yeah.
It's a real good one.
Yeah,
I'm jealous.
Yeah. I straight up told him, like, you know, you're getting into an early 6.7 coming. So, I mean, there's obviously issues, turbo issues. It's kind of like the shittier side of the EGR system and DPF system. But, you know where you're getting into, you know, I mean, who knows what Cameron will do to that thing, but
It's a good thing to build off of.
It's a good thing to build off of. And I told him, I was like, to me, it looks like that's like an older guy's truck that he bought to tow a bumper pole with.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's all he did, because you can see in the rear bumper, there's a dent by the hitch. Like he backed into a hitch and dented the bumper.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, oh, there's no fifth wheel. I was like, but you know, a lot of people get like a bumper pull trailer, and that's what they'll use to tow their trailer with. Because he's got like the cruise control button was like kind of worn on it.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, dude, it's probably got just a ton of highway miles, and the guy just like used it to tow his camper trailer, his bumper pull camper trailer with. Like, that's what it looks like to me.
That's probably why it's so low mile.
Right.
It's like,
And the guy
that's
either
all
got
it
too
ever
old
did.
or whatever, you know, who knows. But I was like, dude, it seems like a decent enough truck, man. Because I was looking at it as he was talking to me on it, because he called me. And but yeah, good little truck.
Yeah. Oh, so the other truck, I don't have enough cash for it right now unless a bunch of stuff sold. You and I looked at this truck together on Marketplace. I don't think it's on Marketplace anymore, but I actually found it at the guy's house. He actually lives out by Cameron. That red and silver crew cab long bed dually 2-wheel drive. It's a 90.
Yes.
It's a 97 F350 crew long dually 2-wheel drive with it's not a Centurion. It's another coach builder.
It's got some
Full
of the package
body kit on
Yeah.
it. That's like the Testarossa Ferrari, like side skirts.
Yep.
Like full bumpers, everything. Lund visors, like all the stuff. Two-tone paint, like fancy seats. Like it's got like the roll-along package seats and overhead console.
It's overstuffed, comfy cloth
Yeah.
seats with like the extra support and everything
I
like
think
that.
it's.
I will say I like those a
The
lot.
side bolsters and everything.
I think it had a 5-speed in it, and it had like 230,000 miles.
It was
on
a
it.
5-speed gasser, wasn't it?
No, it was a Power Stroke.
Oh shit!
Yeah. But that was the reason I didn't go buy it. Is because I was like, man, I'm not Ben. I can't just like buy this thing and then have to learn all this like early
But
Power
you have
Stroke
me.
stuff. I know. I should.
It's not much to really learn, though.
It really
Well,
is. It's
like,
and the
it's
thing-
some
you
basic
already
principles.
have enough knowledge. Like,
Oh yeah.
going into a Power Stroke for you would be super freaking
Yeah,
easy.
and
dude.
I have worked on them before, but I was like, man, is this going to be the thing where I buy it not knowing what it is? Like I was going to have you go look with me, but it was $13,000, and I was like looked at the ads a bunch, and then I randomly saw it riding out to Cameron's house on my motorcycle, so I backtracked and went and found it, and it's like all the clear coats peeling on it and everything, and I'm like, man, like it's just never going to clean up that nice. I'm like, this is a $7,500 truck.
Mhm.
I mean, nobody else wants this gaudy looking red finned weird fiberglass body kitted thing except for me and like 3 other dudes. And I'm like,
and Ben.
yeah, and I was like, I probably just shouldn't do it. And then I didn't stop seeing it on Marketplace. I'm like, man, good. I'm glad somebody bought it. Last time I went to Cameron, like last week, I look out down the hill and it's still sitting in the same spot. And I'm like, shit.
So I have a TTB.
Oh yeah, that'd be rad.
TTB that and keep it low.
Yeah.
Okay. Live my
no,
dream.
I would go the opposite way though. I would just slam it.
Well, but then put a TTB on there.
No.
Keep it 4-wheel drive.
Not everything needs
Get
to be
it 4-wheel
4-wheel
drive.
drive. No.
That's a year-round truck.
No.
The paint's already peeling. Fuck
It's
it.
a year-round right now if you've got the
No, if you've got
balls.
a body kit on that thing, that'd be a perfect candidate for
Okay,
a slam
fine.
truck.
Keep it low. It's
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
But
it
as far as like getting into that, and this is actually maybe a good topic to for any of you guys maybe looking at a 7.3 and maybe you're kind of looking to get into it. If it runs and drives right now, I can tell you with like a pretty good gauge of certainty, and it has less than 200,000 miles on it, the worst you're going to get into is there's probably some oil leaks. So you're going to need some, Tyler.
What? Brake clean.
And
What?
O-rings.
O-rings.
Oh.
You're gonna need some O-rings, which I have all of. And it's probably gonna in the near future. It's probably gonna need a high pressure oil pump. The EVV is gonna leak. You can replace that. The O pipe's gonna leak.
You're gonna spend $5,000 and it's still gonna have
need glow
86
plugs.
horsepower.
The glow plugs may or like it could not whatever. Like
I've never seen a used Power Stroke that couldn't be helped by some glow plugs.
yeah. Both of my Power Strokes currently, I haven't touched the glow plugs, and they both start in the cold.
What?
Yep.
Lucky.
Good batteries, good cables.
He
good
uses starting
alternator.
fluid every time. But
Like case from Napa.
he's got a little port
Little-
inside the cab where he sprays it into. And
A little
just-
motion lotion.
Hey man, if it works, it works. Okay, all right. But it's for real though. Like it's if you were to get into something like that, there is nothing barring the engine actually being fucked and something. Okay, so there's always the like 7.3 eats a lifter. Okay, that does happen. It is fairly few and far between, and honestly, a lot of it tends to happen when you start really pushing it, or it has a ton of miles and it's just been pushed and unkept. You get that thing, we put some Schaefers in it, you start treating it right with fuel additive, good filters, it's going to run. It's going to do a good job. We can put a high pressure oil pump in there, put a tune, intake. If you're going to tow with it, we'll throw an intercooler on it. Honestly, if you're daily driving it, you don't have to have an intercooler. And just let her eat. Do a turbo rebuild on it. If it's a manual, probably put a little bit tighter exhaust housing on it if you're going to be doing a turbo rebuild. That thing will be great. That thing will just be a fucking fantastic run. It'll probably get 20 easily on the highway. Two-wheel drive low like that with an aero kit. Fuck yeah, dude. Put a nice stereo in it, tin it.
Oh yeah.
Corporate cruiser this shit. Just detail the fuck out of the inside.
Oh yeah.
Oh, put nice stereo. Put some new door speakers in it like that. Put a nice, 12 in the back underneath the seat. And just, oh yeah, that thing would be nice.
Yeah, I agree. You're gonna loan me $10,000.
No, but I will help you work on it. Live vicariously through you, and we'll go ride low and slow places.
Yeah.
I'll bring my jacked up green truck, and you'll bring your low one, and we'll be like Ebony and Ivory. We're just rolling into places like, hey, if you don't like me, you'll like him. It's fine. We're friends.
If you don't like this truck or that truck, I guess you don't like chicks either, man.
Gay bar's around the corner, dipshit.
We know because we just left there.
Cover's $12. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, not a lot of guys in there right now. Just to let you know, just we left.
They have a drink called a Power Stroke.
Okay, what would a Power Stroke be? What would a Power Stroke drink be?
Gotta be something with some Baileys in it.
From a shoe?
Yeah.
Babies from a shoe?
No, it's probably from like one of those like cock looking like
Tall, thin glasses.
yeah.
Okay, so
Like,
you got a super tall, thin glass. All right, like a dick.
Here's the thing: you can make the same joke about like a Cummins.
Oh,
like,
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be.
A Cummins would basically just be kind of a Scooby
It
snack.
would just be milk.
Yeah, it'd be like a White Russian.
Yeah.
White Russian in a glass with like the darkest cloud of liquor you could put on top to represent some coal.
Yeah.
Big old glass of cum with some fucking coal on top.
Yeah.
Called a cum and coal.
Yeah.
Cum coal. I'll get a cum coal, please.
Yeah.
That's fucking
We
awkward.
follow it up with a Power Stroke.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Awkward drinks.
Yes.
Just remember, you were weird for watching Barbie.
Yeah.
No,
I'm the weird one.
No, the funniest part of that whole thing was that you talked to me about it after the podcast.
It wasn't brought up during.
Yeah, I know, but you made fun of me for watching Little Mermaid, and then you're like over there after we're done. Hey, y'all, you see Barbie?
Yeah, fine. All right, now both of you guys got to go watch both of those movies and then report back
Hell
on which
no.
one's more watchable, and I guarantee I will know the answer.
I will never watch the Barbie movie.
I would like
I
to
will
see both.
never watch.
It's my wife and I's time to actually watch movies right now is like slim to none. We both have to be like jonesing to see a movie and then make it work. Otherwise, it's like an episode of some show here and there.
I will never watch it.
I know you won't watch it, and it's
Listen,
sad
I already
because
said I watched the Little Mermaid movie for the crap.
Yeah.
Down in the sea.
It's sad that you won't watch it because there's parts of it that I think you would find really funny.
I might, but here's the deal. I just can't
He's already watched and he's just not admitting it.
No,
That's
I have not.
probably
I have
right.
not.
You
I have not
watched it already.
I have not.
You can see it in your eyes.
I have not. I have no desire to watch Ryan Gosling with like a shirt with open, all open, and
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
I'm gonna take a guess in the dark here though, but I forgot the male's name in Little Mermaid. I'm pretty sure his pirate shirt is like full deep V open blouse.
What are you talking about? The pirate? There's no pirate.
Not the pirate, but not Barbie. Ariel's the man.
Oh, him? He's a pussy.
I know, but his shirt's halfway open, just like Ryan Gosling.
Well, I mean, okay.
And you watched it.
This is taking place
watched
back in a time where there was pirates and shit. Like that's like regular attire. That's like you and me right now. Like if we were back in that time, we would both have like frills coming out of our
shirt.
A deep V shirt with lace coming out of our sleeves.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Point taken.
Yeah, and
But-
earrings and like fucking. Well,
Yeah,
you would have long hair.
It sounds
I would
like
be
you
fucked.
have all that stuff at home. You're pretty good at describing it.
Well, I do like Pirates of the Caribbean. All right.
It's like that episode of Seinfeld when he's wearing
Yeah,
the pirate shirt,
yeah.
the puffy shirt. It's gonna be a big thing, guys.
As far as the Barbie movie goes, I was recently back home. Me and my dad were driving back from the airport.
We lost like 80% of the people listening to this podcast.
No, they're all on the same page. If we're talking about it, they're talking about it. I guarantee it. We were in
Honey, see these guys listen. They watched it too.
I'm up to news on current things. I like other stuff besides trucks and brake clean. Shit.
No, honey, I do like men.
But he mentioned the same thing you did about the primered car on jack stands in the driveway when Ken gets the house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And but my dad's kind of he's a gearhead as well. And he's like, yeah, I watched the Barbie movie. He's like, I know what you're going to say. I was like, oh no, Dad. Like I'd like to see it. I've heard it's really good. He's like, yeah, the part is just Ken gets control of the Barbie house. And there's a lot of good jokes in there, but he basically all of a sudden there's like a primer project car in the driveway. It's fucking perfect. I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Well, we're gonna end on that note, and I'm sorry, people, that you had to listen.
I still haven't seen either. I've seen none of these movies you're talking about.
Well,
Everybody
Same.
should go watch movies in the theater. That's what I'm going to say. Get out and watch the stuff in the theaters because, like, especially with Oppenheimer, like, that's something you got to go watch on the big screen. And the new Top Gun, like, that was awesome last year.
I wish
on
I
the
could
big
have gotten to
screen.
see it. Yeah.
They'll do, like, God, it stayed in
I want to see
theaters
Gran Turismo. Nobody's seen Gran Turismo.
No, I haven't seen that yet.
I want to see that.
And that's another big screen movie. Like, everybody's like, well, you need to stay home and watch it on the streaming service in a month. No, just go see it. It's like a cool thing to go watch movies in the
That's what
theaters.
my wife and I ended up watching it at home.
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean, we got a 6-year-old and a almost
Yeah.
2-year-old. Like, it's just
But
for us to get out and go do that ain't gonna happen.
But even once a year should make it happen. Like, that's
I get that, but sometimes it's like I have like almost a 70-inch TV and a surround sound system.
yeah, but like, it's cool because like at the Northtown Mall, they've got the big reclining chairs and
those are
everything,
cool.
and it's like people are spaced out. Like you're never like,
Have you seen my couch? My couch is pretty nice.
but it's I don't know. There's something
Yeah.
about
No,
the experience
I
of
hear
like
it.
getting back to like how
They need to make all those
stuff in the 70s and 80s
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, you went out and did stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
it's kind of nice to get out. It's like, yeah, popcorn's $10, whatever.
I like the
Go
movie
out.
theaters where you can like order food and like get a beer.
There's one of those out in Airway Heights.
Yeah, it's at Quest.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
need to go to that one.
The last time we went there, we went and saw Anchorman 2,
oh
and we
yeah,
walked out
because it
because
was
it was terrible.
Yeah,
It was one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I bought it on DVD when it came out and loaned it to somebody, and they lost it, and I wasn't sad.
Yeah. It was bad. It was bad. But
I was
that was the
sad
last time I went to one of those movie theaters, and I was like, okay, I'll just rent it at home. It seems cheaper that way.
Well, yeah, you went to one where it's like, yeah, you're going to a movie theater where they're also giving you dinner. That's expensive.
yeah, right. And you spend like $60, and you're like, wow, this movie sucks. Let's leave.
I'm the cheapest man alive. I go on Tuesdays at the Regal because Tuesdays are half price. And it's half price popcorn and half price ticket. So you can get a full thing, a large popcorn and a movie for cheaper than a regular ticket on other days of the week. Deal. And you can watch like the new movies. If there's brand new release that came out, you can go watch it, and it's like $12 for the night.
That's not bad.
Like a rental on Netflix or something is
$20 usually. It's like $19.99 or something for a new movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, let's wrap her up.
Yeah, we don't rent that shit. We wait till it comes out free.
There's been so many movies that have come out that was like $20, and then like a week later it's free. Like it's like, God damn it.
Our limit, not our limit, but like unless it's something we both agree we wanted to see, like ASAP.
Yeah.
Otherwise, our thing's $10. If we have the time and we both can agree on a movie right now that we want to see, and we actually truly have the time, it's like, oh no, we're not gonna pay for a movie that we're gonna have to watch in 20-minute sections.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we've blocked off time. We're gonna watch this movie, and our limit's like, it's like $10. Other than that, it's like, we'll just wait for it to come out, or we won't, or maybe someday when our kids are older, we'll just start racking up. I like to think of it because like I remember my dad we watched a whole bunch of movies that way, and I feel like that was his way of doing it. Like I missed a whole bunch of movies going to the theater with that, and now that your kids are old enough to where I can start watching these movies, he just went back through and watched a fuck ton of movies, and I got to watch all of them with him, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. The
one that I haven't seen yet, and I'm pissed that I haven't seen it, and you guys are gonna make fun of me for not seeing it yet, but I really want to see it soon. That Ford vs Ferrari, I still haven't seen it.
Dude, really that's good. A great movie.
I know it is. I've seen so many like 3 or 4 minute sections of it.
Great casting. It's a good movie.
You have to suspend disbelief a little bit with it in the fact that they made some creative, just slight changes to like give it a little extra drama and push the story along a little bit
as needed
for a blockbuster movie. But there is a great documentary called The 24-Hour War. That's like the true just documentary style film about it. And if you watch those both, it's like you can see, okay, they had to change this a little bit and whatever. But one of the coolest things about that movie is all the cars, like the GT40s, are Superformance GT40 replicas. But Superformance builds them to exact specs of what they used to be. And those cars it was like they were really using, vintage cars almost. Like they had Corvettes and everything else. And, I don't know but it's like pretty much all the cars were replicas from what I understand. But it's like, it was really cool that they had some like legit,
It's honestly probably one of my favorite movies that have come out in the last like few years.
Yeah. Christian Bale kills it. He's
it's awesome.
Best movie since Batman.
I love it when he first goes into that where he's like getting hired to like race, and there's like that they're showing off the Mustang, and he's like just talking shit on the Mustang. Like
I love when they're put the plug in the trunk to test if it can, the trunk space of the Cobra at the race when they're teching the car, and it's like, no, it's got to be whatever this amount of cubic feet, and he's like that's, who cares? And they're like not going to pass the car for tech, and they see him over there, and he's got the trunk lit up, and he's beating the shit out of it with a wrench to make to dome the trunk up so that this like suitcase will fit in there. Because vintage road racing, it had to be a road legal car. It had to have a spare tire in it. It had to have a certain amount of space for stuff. It's like they were trying to say, it's like, this is an actual car that you can go buy, and we're just racing them. I mean, shit, my uncle's got a 69 Z28 Camaro that was road raced right off the showroom floor in 69, and there's pictures of it racing at Laguna Seca, like going down the corkscrew. It still has a radio antenna on the fender. Like, they were showroom stock. Like, I mean, of course they had cages and everything else, but it's like they really had to like be like a car. And it's funny how race cars live lives. Like, you look at it now, and it's like crazy wide body IMSA, like fender flares on it, because it just got raced and raced and raced up into the 80s. But it's like cool to look back at the pictures of like 1969 Boss 302s and Z28 Camaros and Challengers, and it's like, oh man, those were just cars. And like the dude that bought this car, it was a privateer guy. He was just like a gentleman racer, and so it was like it was a kind of champagne-y gold car factory. It was just racing with that paint and like numbers on it. And I don't think it like really won a lot or anything, but it's like there's pictures of it and it's like, oh, there's like the Sunoco Camaro and like all these other famous cars and, you know, Mark Donahue cars and like everything else racing around it. And you're like, holy shit. That's rad.
That's this.
Yeah.
That's this.
Well, I think it's going to wrap this one up. We've pretty much touched on fucking everything this episode, which is one of my favorites. Jesse, I appreciate you being on for the last 2 episodes.
Yeah,
and
great
I'm
to be
looking
here.
forward to your next project, whatever it may be. I hope it's the Power Stroke. I want to do Power Stroke things with you.
Yeah.
I really do. Like, can I have a Power Stroke frame, please?
Yeah.
Yes, please. Okay. Well, between my 2 Power Strokes and your one, we'll make like 350 horsepower. It'd be great.
Yeah, I know. It'll be awesome.
Anyways, everybody, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.
Bah.
Bye.
You're listening to America's Diesel Podcast.